Hey everybody, how's it going? Let me fix my microphone here. I got a little bit ahead of the game here today, so I think I could do this a little bit faster. How's everybody doing today? I actually made a TikTok today. Got a lot done today. My TikTok is kind of it's gonna be interesting. I did a ChatGPT game. I gotta get the link and drop it in the Discord. But let's get this started. Let's get a number 20. Guys, can you believe it's number 20? Wow. Little moment of pride for myself here for getting 20 streams in on Deadly Decks. Oh no. I did it before. Oh man. Interesting. The way that YouTube does these thumbnails is really fascinating. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's so funny. Sometimes it keeps the like thumbnail, and then sometimes the thumbnail's like delayed or something. I don't even know. Anyway, we got a lot of fun stuff. Yesterday was desperately trying trying to get a coin to show up in Tabletop Simulator. Hold on, let me hit my lights here. Is that better? Did that do a better thing than what was there before? Yeah, it did. So yesterday we're trying to get the coin in Tabletop Simulator. Oh my gosh, for those of you who were here, thanks for all the help yesterday. That was a wild ride. I learned so much about Tabletop Simulator. And honestly, it's interesting how Tabletop Simulator uses outside social media networks to facilitate doing like cloud-based saving. I think it was Cameron yesterday was saying that like, oh, you can definitely like upload stuff to Steam. And while you can, I believe once you upload it to Steam, it's not yours anymore. I think it's privacy settings are not there. God, that sound really gets me every time. What's up, Furry? You had an alarm and it woke you up in time. Yes. What time is it where you are? I'm always wondering because you talk about sleep a lot, and I'm like, what is the deal? Is it like 2 a.m. there? All right, you guys ready to see something really cool? Drum roll, please. All the work yesterday, I don't know if you guys remember, trying to get this coin to work, and it ended up so silly. I found on a thread that apparently if you don't use triangles for every face, I think it's triangles and squares actually. My guess is triangles and squares, but if you have something more complex than a square, I guess it just doesn't render it. So that's why the sides were rendering, because those are squares, and the top face was way more complicated or complex. 850, oh, that's not bad. Wow, good morning. Earthy, yar, the deck be do deadly upon ye. Earthy, what are you making these days? So look, all that hard work yesterday, and now, boom. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful coin. Look at that. I'm not really happy with how the rolling is. I think they randomize the coin and then they flip it, but I kind of wish it was just a little more predictable, like the height. For some reason, I feel like I never get a good flip on this coin unless it goes up. Why that matters. You're being contracted to make an Animal Crossing style game on Roblox? Yo, that's fun. That sounds fun. Yeah, I've been talking to this investor lately, which always sounds shady, but I'm pretty sure this is legit. And I may start working on a music game on Roblox really soon. So I'm pretty excited about that. Kind of excited maybe to work on some Roblox stuff. It seems like suddenly people are back interested in making like more Roblox games. I don't know if that's because of Grow a Garden or what. What? An AI? Did you say AI? Oh, and also gambling games. I don't know why this, the chat. Oh, there we go. And also gambling games too by a different person. Wow, so you're making a lot of stuff. Wow, that's awesome, Earthy. That's exciting. I've been doing a bunch of stuff. I'm hoping later today too, I can work on my sleep app. There's a free sleep app that I made 6 years ago called Scroll to Sleep, and it's on the iPhone, but it's not on Google. And I've been updating it like on the side, stealth, without you guys even knowing that I've been doing this. I've been working on it and working on it and working on it. I'm really hoping to get it pretty soon. Material, let's turn down the, is it the, I don't want it to be like super. There we go. I like it better when it's just like that. Yeah, that's fun. Okay. I guess the sound it makes is different. Did I like DLSS 5? I did. I saw a lot of the stuff that came up about it. It looks cool. I really don't like NVIDIA. It's like a tough thing. It's like, it's really cool. I really don't like NVIDIA as a company right now. And this like giant Ponzi scheme that they're doing right now with spending money on companies that promise they will spend the exact same amount of money back to buy video cards, and then numbers go up. But it is impressive. I'm curious because from what I saw, it like adds a lot of context. I don't know. It was hard to tell when I was seeing it if what it was doing was like just taking creative control and adding stuff. Cause like this old woman looked like a prune. And I was kind of like, when I saw it, I was like, I mean, she didn't really look like that. Like you went a little too much, my guy. A little too much on there. But it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Where are we at with this game? Simeon now has a coin. He's got his chain whips and he has this thing. I think we still need a card for the coin of fate. He still is going to need one of those. Bucket is pretty much ready to go. Oh, and then Eris. I think we could probably play. I know this sounds crazy, but I think we could play. Eris needs like one other thing, I feel like, and maybe Simeon too. Where, well, Simeon's supposed to have an ability and he doesn't have one yet. And Eris needs one. I know, isn't it great, Raymond? What's up, Raymond? How you doing today? Yeah, look at this rolling. Look, we can finally flip a coin. Who knew? You guys don't even know how much work it takes to make a coin flip in Tabletop Simulator. But we got it. I'm thinking the way I'm going to do this is it's going to be one of these yellow cards down here. And it's going to be Coin of Fates. And the coin will be on it, and then you'll just put the coin on top of it. So then whenever you want to use it, you can just pop it off and roll it and then see what you get. For you guys who might be joining or just like hopping in, the whole point with this is that Simeon is supposed to be a gambler. He's like Han Solo, but like way more risk taker. You know, like how Han Solo's kind of always like a little bit risk averse. They're like, can you get us to like this planet? And he's like, well, I could, but it'll be a very tough flight and I don't think I'm going to do it because it's a little crazy. And then they're like, but what about money? And then he's like, how much? This guy's more like, you know, hey, can you take us over here? And he's like, I mean, it's going to be crazy, but sounds like fun. Let's do it. So his whole thing is this kind of story arc where he gambled too much with someone who had an arena and he tried to win. But the arena guy won, this like entertainment promoter, and put him in the gladiator arena. And so he became like a fighter, but he's still a gambler. And so that's his whole thing, is kind of like his kit is meant to be like at any time. The reason this coin is here is the end. It's just like you. Earthy's just like you. He's Simeon Earthy, Simerthion. And so the one thing he gets here is his coin, and the way the coin's supposed to work is at any point during a battle, instead of rolling the dice, which could give you a 1, a 2, an epic fail, or an epic win, you don't get anything in between, and you flip the coin, and you either get an epic win or you get an epic fail. So his thing is kind of like, I thought this would be cool. I don't know if people will want to use it. I don't know if I will want to use it, to be honest with you, but I do think it's really cool that he has this coin of fates that if he flips it and Bucket's trying to attack and I don't want to get anything except for a crit for some reason, or I need a crit on something, then it's like, well, I have a 50-50 chance instead of a 1 in 6 chance or a 2 in 6 chance, which is 1/3, 1 out of 3, to get, you know, a sword or a fail. But I'll be honest with you guys. I feel like we could kind of play. She can cause bleeding. Yeah, she causes bleeding. I kind of wanted her to have one more thing, like one more thing that does something. I had a crazy idea, guys, today for the loot deck, though. Was a a pixie bomb. And the pixie bomb is a jar with 2 pixies in it. And you can use it one time, just once. It's only a single use. And when you throw it, you discard the card, and then you summon 2 pixies. And the pixies are like, they do 1 damage no matter what, but they're really weak. And the creatures have to target them first. So you kind of get this benefit where like they'll do a 1/1 attack on each of them, but they're distracting, which I thought would be really cool card. I thought that would be really fun. Oh, you might fall asleep again like last time? Well, you know what, Furry? Whatever you got to do is good. Go for it. Maybe we just start playing. Let's just start playing and see what happens. I think I'm kind of like in the mode of like trying to make it perfect. And I think we should just try it. Let's just try it, guys. All right, here we go. This is the first time we're going to be playing with these characters. I haven't played with them yet. Let's go ahead and shuffle this one, because I honestly don't even know what to do with these decks at this point to make them different or unique, because I just don't have enough info. All right, so the way this works, as you guys know, we start at the Soulbind Keep, and that's this card here. And we draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 events. Drag them over here. Actually, let's drag them down here. I like when these are up and this is up here. Okay, so our first, Eris is our lead. Oh man, this is gonna be cool. I can't wait to see what happens here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and draw the first card. Cursed Burial. Oh, this is great. We haven't had this card before. This is a brand new card. This is so exciting. The Cursed Burial. Select a hero and roll for their magic stat. So that means you roll and add their magic. If you get 2 or less, you have to summon an undead guard, and only the hero that you rolled for can fight them. If you get a 3 or 4, you get 2 coins. If you get a 5 or more, you get 4 coins. Now, I think James and I talked about the idea that you could just pass on this card completely, but already I feel like no way, no way. No passing, no passing. You got to do it. Okay, so who are we going to pick? Nobody has any magic. So the question really becomes, who could fight an undead guard pretty easily if we get one? Because there's a good chance we're going to get one. I feel like... Let's go with... Let's go with Simeon. Simeon's going to do this. All right, Simeon's going to roll. We need a 2 or better, right? We need a 2 or better, 2 or less. Oh my God, we need a 3. So we got to basically get a critical. Oh my God, we got to get a critical on this. It feels pretty high. Oh, we didn't get it. So we have to summon an undead guard. And Simeon has to battle this. I haven't done this before, where Simeon's just going to fight by himself, where like someone fights alone. Let me see if we can get a undead guard. Nope, that's a deranged guard. Let's get an undead guard and duplicate it. Put this one, no! Put this one back in here and then put this one out. All right, so the undead guard, if you guys don't remember, 7 health, does 2 damage to the, well, interesting, to the highest. So I guess this is an interesting rule. When it's one-on-one, I guess it doesn't matter. And it's gonna do 2 damage to the last hero that attacked it. Oh my god, I should have picked Eris. Unless your speed is 2 or more. So when he kills it, because he doesn't have a speed of 2 or more, it's gonna do 2 damage to him. I should have picked Eris. Okay, this is good to know. This is interesting. All right, so I've never done a one-on-one fight before. Simeon's gonna get to go first, and the way that he does it, like I said, he's a gambler. He does a 2, that's a 1 damage to this thing. And if I roll again for the second whip, I could get more damage or I could miss completely. So I'm gonna go again, and that's 2 damage. So this guy takes 2 damage. Okay, and then he does 2 damage back to Simeon. Wow, that's a lot. This could be a challenging fight. This could be challenging. Now Simeon gets to fight again. He's gonna go ahead and do a 1, that's 1 damage. And then if I roll again, I could get 2 damage on him. 1, 2, wow, 7. This is an intense fight. I think this is too hard. I'm gonna get my little notes out. Let's put some notes down. Three 17 guys. March is almost over. Can you believe it? Okay. Cursed burial. Undead guard is too hard. Okay. Okay, good to know. All right, so we might need something a little different there. I'll tell you what I'm gonna actually do. I'm gonna restart this encounter, and we have a card that I think would be a lot more fun. So I'm gonna delete this, and let's get these guys, the Seekers. That's kind of fun. I think narratively this makes sense too. Like, so the Seekers, if you haven't seen them, these guys are pretty fun. They're like skeleton hands, like animated skeleton hands. So maybe the Cursed Burial is Seekers instead. The way that the Seekers work is they have a skill called Mob, which means this card's damage is its current HP. So it starts as a 4/4, and then a 3/3, and then a 2/2, and then a 1/1, and then it's dead. Let's start it over again, because I just feel like that's crazy. I feel the same way, Furry. Life is going too fast. All right, Simeon, let's give it another shot. Okay, Simeon's gonna go ahead and roll. That's an epic hit. If I get another epic hit, he could stun the creature, which means it can't hit him back for 4. I'm gonna go ahead and use his coin because I can use it once per turn. And I feel like this is a great opportunity to use it because chances are I'm not gonna get another epic because it's 1 out of 6. But here it's 1 out of 2. So let's see. If I roll it, I can use it once per encounter. Oh, we got it. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. I like this a lot. That is really fun because if I missed that, guys, just so you know, if I missed that, that would have been an epic fail, which would have meant I missed the whole attack. So he definitely feels like gambling. So that means I hit him for 2. And the other thing with getting 2 stuns is doubles damage plus stun creature. So this creature is stunned. We don't have a stun token right now, so I'm just gonna turn them. Gotta figure out how that works. That was really fun. So I'm gonna turn, like I'm gonna die tomorrow when I turn 60, but I'm not 59, by the way. Yeah, well, I can tell you you're gonna be around for a long time. But yeah, I feel you. Life is going really fast. Okay, so these guys can't attack back, and now they're a 2/2. We start the next round. Nice job, Simeon. And now I can't use this coin. Let's put the coin. We'll say when it's not on a yellow card, that means I've used it during the encounter. And then Simeon's going to try again. And if I just get a basic attack this time, that's a 2. I got a bad feeling about this next hit. Like I should just leave it, but I'm going to go for it. And a 1. That's a 2 hit. This guy's dead. That's 2 damage. We didn't get a stun, but we also don't need it. And then this guy's gone. Seekers instead with loot icon. Okay, so I was gonna say is like, the only thing that feels bad about this is if I get the undead guard and I fight them, oh yeah, you do get a coin. I get a coin. Currently the way that the game works is you get a coin, and then if they have an icon on them for loot, you get a loot. And I kind of feel like I should be getting a loot after doing this, so yeah, this needs to have a loot icon so that it's worth it. So let's just pretend. I'm going to put this in the summoning deck for now. And we're going to go ahead. The way that loot works, I roll. If I get an epic hit, then I get a weapon. If I get anything else, it's just the regular loot deck. So let's roll it. So we just get a regular loot. Let's flip it. I got a Ghost of Fortune. Adds +2 to a loot roll. So that means if I really want to try to get a weapon, I can use that at some point. And it's a discard. You only get to use it one time. All right, moving on. That was fun. I liked that one. So Cursed Burial Ground. Cursed Burial has to turn into the mob. And then I think we'll be set with that. All right, let's grab another one. Oh, the Swirl Seller, my favorite. So we draw 2 creatures from the creature deck. I haven't played this in a long time, guys, and I really am becoming enamored with this game. It's really exciting. I haven't really had a game that I really loved as much as I really love playing this game. Swirl Seller is a really, really, really clever card. It's probably one of my favorite cards that I've designed in this entire thing so far. And the way it works is you draw the 2 creatures and you have to fight them. If I get a critical, I can exhaust this card and do 2 extra damage by knocking them into the swirl rack, but I won't get this bottom thing. And the bottom thing says, if this card is not exhausted by the end of the encounter, summon a vintage swirl, which heals me for 3, but also creates 2 mist tokens, causing the characters to be a little bit inebriated. All right, so let's see. We have a spider that does 3 damage. And has 3 health, does 2 damage, and will try to hit anyone who has a miss token on them, and if not, it will hit the highest health character. So right now I don't have any misses, but it's gonna be... Oh, that's a good question. Can a spider attack Bucket? I guess not. Whoa, this is mind-blowing. Because it's a heart, it means that it would only attack the highest heart hero, and so because Bucket does not have traditional health, he can't be attacked by a spider. That is, or anything that's looking for blood. Whoa, it's just like one of those moments where some of the rules that I set up are kind of like locking into place without even me thinking that I designed them that way. But it totally makes sense. Why would a spider bite Bucket? Because Bucket is just an automaton. But before, when he had health, it could. But now it makes sense. And especially for the deranged guards. The deranged guards attack the least health hero. And so why would they be able to attack Bucket? Like, that's just not even possible. What? Soder spits venom at him? Who? Simeon? Who spits venom at him? Oh, the spider spits venom at him. You think the spider spits venom at Bucket? Okay, the other one, if it does hit a hero with a miss token, that hero's stunned, has a weakness to fire, which I have to work on weaknesses. And then the Sulker attacks the party leader for 1 and heals for 1, and it's a 4 health. So I think we should try for the spider because it's going to currently attack the highest health, and that's going to be Simeon. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's see if we can hit the spider. That's an epic hit. Do I go already for the epic? Ooh, I feel like I'm gonna miss if I roll for it. I'm not gonna do it just yet. Let's roll the second dot. Let's roll the second. You know what? Go big or go home. Why do we have the coin if we're not gonna use it? All right, so let's see. If I can do this, I put 2 damage on the spider and stun it, so it actually can't attack Simeon back. So we're gonna roll it. We got it. That's 2 hits and stunned. That's pretty great, actually. That's Simeon's turn. We used the coin, so we can't use it again. Now let's see if Eris can finish off the spider, and then let's see what we do with Bucket. So do 1 damage. If crit, do 1 damage, and the creature is now bleeding. We don't need it to go crit. We just need a basic hit. That's great. We got a basic hit. Spider's dead. Let's put it back up here and flip it so it can't attack us. And then Bucket is just going to wind up. If you guys remember, exhaust the weapon on this turn to wind up. On the next turn, we can really wallop it. So there's nothing that Bucket can do this turn right now. He never attacks on the first turn. Now the Sulker is going to do 1 damage to Eris. And that's the turn. Next turn starts. Let's see. Dang, he does. Oh yeah, let's see what Bucket does. So the way Bucket works is he winds up on the first turn. On the second turn, he does his weapon 2 times in a row for 1 roll. So let's go ahead and unexhaust this. And then let's go ahead and see if he hits twice. He did. He does 2 damage and the creature's not bleeding, but this counts for 2 hits. So he actually kills it. That's 2 hits and then 2 hits. Not bad. These guys are fun. The gameplay so far, Raymond, is actually, it's working. It's working. I'd say the star of the show so far is Simeon. The coin is really fun. It's a really enticing item to use. And I could have used it here. I could have used it here to create bleeding so that I could have done more bleeding. It's pretty interesting, the coin. And I feel like all it does is give you better odds, but increases the worst and best outcomes. It's really cool card. Eris is probably a little yawn. Eris out of all of them is a little meh. I mean, that was fun for Bucket to wind up and just destroy the Sulker. That was great. And I do feel like this crew is more powerful than the previous crew of heroes that we were using. I mean, look at them. They barely have taken any damage at this point. So that's 2 monsters that we crushed. Neither of them, one of them has a loot icon right here. So let's go ahead and see what we get for loot. Let's go ahead and roll. You know what? I'm going to use this Ghost Fortune because why not? It gives me a +2 on this roll to see if we get a weapon. So you get better. You can get a weapon if you want. Although I feel like maybe the Ghost of Fortune maybe is draw an additional card on a loot roll and choose between them. That might be a better thing because you may not want a weapon. That doesn't necessarily guarantee you better loot. And I feel like it's that. Yeah, Ghost of Fortune, change to draw additional loot or weapon card on a roll. Choose 1. So it would just give, I'm going to try that right now actually, because I really don't feel like the actual rolling plus to the rolling, it could be cool, but I don't know. All right, so let's see. Let's roll for it and see what we get. So we got a 2, which means I drew a loot. And like the card will say eventually, I get to draw a second one and pick between them. So the medical kit is a new thing. Remove 1 peril token from a hero and discard this card. And restore 2 health of a hero and discard. I'm going to go with the health. And then we just put this back in and shuffle it. Like, the medical kit is probably pretty useful, but nobody has peril yet. And then also as a final thing, yeah, only the gambling guy gets it. So I'm thinking there'll actually be a yellow card here with the coin on it, and you put the coin on it and then you move it off when you've used it. Or maybe just turn the card. So if this was the coin of fates, you would turn it, and then you can use it again at another encounter, but not this one. You only use it once per encounter. And I don't know if you can use it during skill checks. I don't want people to be overly reliant on it. I want it to feel like a special thing. Again, remember when it's like the idea of choice is really important. And anytime I feel like I'm losing choice when there's not a choice, then it feels less. So I kind of feel like making it available for all of them. Why wouldn't you just use it in a way? Because it feels like it could be something that you become overly reliant on. I like that Simeon uses it sparingly at really important moments, not just because you're farting around trying to like get a better payout on a graveyard or something, you know? All right, so because I didn't knock anyone into the Swirl rack, we get Vintage Swirl, which is one of my favorite cards. Let me see if we can find it here. Vintage Swirl is here. So we get this, and this actually heals for 3. So it heals for 3. Put it right here. Oops, nope. It heals for 3. And when I do, I take 2 mist tokens on a hero. So my only thing so far, like I said, is these guys are pretty powerful, and they're not doing a ton of damage. Yeah, maybe difficult to have so many unique objects to organize for each character. I feel you on that, Raymond. It's definitely something I keep in the back of my mind, is like, I don't want the game to end up becoming so challenging to play. It's like, you know, what's that term, fiddly? I don't want it to be fiddly. Like, people refer to board games that have like too many little parts and too many little things as like fiddly. Okay, so we got the Vintage Swirl. We have that. That's pretty cool. We go ahead and put this here, and then we draw our next card. This one, again, I feel like, yeah, this one is a choice. You can flee and we'll lose 2 allies, or if we stay, we can fight 2 creatures, and after defeating them, draw 2 allies. So let's do it. Why not? We're going to draw a deranged guard and a deranged guard. 2 deranged guards are attacking 2 allies, and if we can win this, we're going to get 2 friends to help us out here, which is pretty cool. All right, so who starts? I mean, the easy start here is we just go ahead and we wind up Bucket, which means he can't do anything this turn. These guys are both going to attack the lowest health hero. That's going to be Eris. Again, this is crazy because that means they would never target Bucket. You could put a color tab on everything that is linked together, easy to figure out, like the characters and the cards they have. Yeah, that would be really cool. I'm thinking even the card backs too. Like, it could be easy if, you know, when you flip these over, it, instead of this backing, it has like something about Simeon, and then this is something Simeon, and then this is something Simeon, you know? So you never really feel like, if you're looking for the cards physically, if you're like shuffling through them, they're really easy to find. But I could see what you mean too. Even looking at them on the face, it gets a little tricky to be like, oh yeah, these are all for Simeon. Maybe there's like a little character portrait in the corners. That could be a thing. That might be. That's an interesting idea. Like maybe Simeon's portrait goes like right here and right here and right here. So then you know, okay, these are all Simeon's cards. And then Eris, same thing. Eris, Eris, Eris. So it's really easy. You could just, oh, that one would be tricky. That would be tricky. Maybe they go right here or something. I don't know. I like that top left corner. I could always move the shield. Maybe I could. I don't know. Okay, so who's going to attack first? This is going to be tricky. These guys do 2+ damage when their health is 2 or less. And they do 2 attacks, and they're both going to hit Eris. Okay, this is interesting because Eris can shroud, which means she can't be targeted. So I could take 1 hit, and then on the next turn I could shroud her so that Simeon takes a hit. Question becomes, what happens when no one can be targeted? Is that even possible? To keep that in mind. Okay, let's try it. Let's see what happens here. I really would love... These guys have 6 health. She does 1 damage, but on a crit will do +1 damage, and the creature will be bleeding, which means she'll do 2 damage and it'll be bleeding, and then he will do 2 damage +1 if the creature is bleeding. So guys, maybe, just maybe, Eris can use the Simeon coin, get a crit right off the bat, and then Bucket can hit them on next turn and just decimate them. Decimate one of them. I think that's the strategy. Oh God, I haven't missed with this coin yet, and I'm just waiting for it. Because right now it's just only been all wins. All W's. Okay, let's see. Oh, I kind of knew that was coming. Oh, she missed. Okay. She missed. So she didn't hit at all. Whew, this is gonna hurt. I'll tell you what I am gonna do on her turn. She can always shroud. Wait, can she? Yeah, heroes shroud and cannot be attacked if there's status damage that breaks the shroud, and she doesn't have any status damage. So we're gonna shroud Eris so she doesn't take the extra -1 and get the peril token, which means Simeon's gonna get hit for 4. Yikes. Okay, well, and we already used the coin, which means we can't use it again. Wow, I love that coin. That coin is really fun. This is 1 damage. Go again. As long as I don't miss, I get 2 damage. That's 2 damage to one of them. Little portraits may work better because colorblind people. Oh, that's a great idea. I could even see like a little tab indent on the side. Now that you're mentioning it, maybe we can just do a little test. Just a side test here. Oh wait, I don't want to forget what I'm on here. So let's pull this up. I would love to do a little test of this while I'm thinking about it. If we grab one of the weapons here, so it could be something like this, but like let's see. Whose turn is it? Simeon did 2 damage. Eris did 1 miss. And then these guys are going to attack. So I'm just going to put this up here for these guys. So they're going to attack next because Bucket already went. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking, though. I'm thinking, Raymond, to your point, maybe there's like a little thing here. And we just go ahead and do... Nope, not that one. Trying to... God, Photoshop has so many... No, there's like a way to do... There's a way to do it on both sides. There it is. Maybe we get something kind of like this. And then here it would say... Maybe we can do something like this. I don't know what color it would be, so just kind of messing around with this. But maybe it starts off like a starter item, and then And then maybe we come in here with something like this. Will the IRL cards have beveled edges? Yeah. Yeah, they have them already. You can see them here. Yeah. I don't know if you can see them. I can't see what I see on my thing, but yeah, they have. So maybe it's like starter item. Like this. And make it a little smaller, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of big, so maybe it would even be smaller. Not that it has to be, we don't have to solve this right now. Maybe it's like a little top tab here. I think because this is like a clear area. Maybe it'd be like about right there. That's kind of cool. Or something like that, you know? Yeah, that could be cool. I wonder like how big it has to be to make it feel right. I got an idea for the horse guy thingy, you know, that thingy where it looks different depending on where you're looking at it. What horse guy? Horse guy thingy? You know, that thingy where it looks different depending on where you're looking at it. Is this in the game? This feels like it's missing something though. Maybe it just needs an outline or something? Oh, that's for the text. Maybe it just needs a little stroke on the inside here. Yeah, like something like that. It's not perfect, but I think it might need just a little something. The picture changes if you look at it from a different angle. Wait, is this in Deadly Decks or is this something else? Wait, it's in here? Oh, yeah, I remember. The idea with the horse guy. The horse dies and they turn into skeletons? Yeah, I do remember that. What's the idea? Yeah, it kind of feels like the flavor text is not the right font for this. Or the flavor font is not right for this. It feels like it's kind of like this. Because it's kind of a more UI element. I mean, we can mess around with it, but it just feels like it would be kind of like this. And I think it needs to be a little bit longer. I think it's just too short. Yeah, something like that. I also think that it could be like starter item. And this was what I was messing around with before. Is it could be like starter item. And then that gets a little... I was going to make like a little box here, but I could see where it might be something like you duplicate this and then we go ahead and we merge it together and then we give it a different color. Just messing around with this. Not that this would be final, but then we go ahead and grab this and then turn it like that. I don't know. This is a little too futuristic. I'll be honest with you. It's a little futuristic for me for like what the theme of the game is. But I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it and see what happens. But you take this and then delete this one and then turn this off and then cancel it and then call it out. Yeah, this is too futuristic for it. Furry said, yeah, if you flip him, his picture can change into burning skeleton horsemen. Oh, so there's like a picture on the top and a picture on the bottom, and when you flip it, that's pretty cool. That could be really cool. Yeah, I mean, this to me, I feel like this doesn't really work as like the theming, but it does work as a cool, like a cool UI. It feels very cyberpunk, honestly. You know, like that feels like this would be in the cyberpunk, probably because the yellow and black, but also just the look of it. But I got to do a whole kind of like a whole layout, because this stuff, this rounded corner stuff, it just feels kind of dated and boring. What I've really been wanting to mess around with on this, just to give you guys an idea of what I've been thinking, is like this. I've been thinking about doing like this and this, a little bit of like a fantasy persona UI, if that makes any sense at all. You know, like this kind of thing going on. I'll show you here in a minute, but it's kind of what I've been thinking about. I just don't know how it would work yet. And then all these merge together, and then we give them a color. Yeah, like full black. And then we turn it off. And then we just go in here and grab this guy. No, this guy. Yeah. And then we come back here to this one. And then merge all these. And then got to rasterize it. And then delete it. And then delete this. And then this comes down a bit. So it kind of feel like this. Trying to get it right. Yeah, nah, that doesn't work either. Wait, will there be any lenticular cards? What's a lenticular card? Is that like holographic? No, that have like 3D movement. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Wow, that would be wild. A lenticular card that has a way where if you're looking at it up, it's one thing, and when you flip it, it's a different thing. Whoa. Is that even possible? Yeah, that would be crazy, Raymond. I'm guessing that's where you were going with this. That would be wild. A lenticular card? Whoa. That's really interesting. What? So you flip it upside down and you see something different? Trying to just see, like, I don't know. Now that we're here messing around with it, I'm going to go back to that in a minute, but to the game. Maybe it just needs a little connective stuff here going on. Like, you know, like each one of these is like a little bit. Something kind of like this is what I was kind of coming up with. Is that interesting though? I don't know. Yeah, that would be crazy. Oh, Pokemon did it? Pokemon did it? That's so cool. Hell yeah, Pokemon. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of like a UI idea that I had. And I don't know if I would do it, but the idea was it kind of feels like stone-ish. Like it feels like stone, but it's also like this like minimalist feel to it, you know? Yeah, I don't think it works yet at all. You know, I don't think that looks better than, I don't think this, well, stylistically it's cool, but I don't think it's right yet. Maybe it has to be smaller. Like maybe you just gotta, oh shit, can't. You gotta maybe take it in here and then here. Maybe it's just too big. Something like that. That's kind of cool. Like that could be cool. I think the other thing with it too is that it would need, I feel like I wonder how it works if we go a little bit here where we bring the black in here so that it doesn't have these rounded corners anymore. That's kind of fun. A little too like straightforward, like a little too predictable, the pattern. So maybe it needs just a little bit more like, you know, like this kind of thing going on. Needs a little bit, just a little bit more unique. And maybe just a tiny bit of these kind of details where you get this going like that, you know? And then you just erase the extra here. Kind of like that. And then we come back here and just do a little, like a little divot. No, that's too much. Maybe here. Yeah, I think it's just too perfect is the problem. Something like that. You know what the other thing I was thinking about too is just what happens if we go, this could be crazy. What if we just go all in on it? Let's get rid of this thing. This thing's kind of like, I don't really like this thing, so let's get rid of that. I wonder, and I've wondered this for a while, what happens if we go and we make it completely, whoops, we make it completely black and we do black background and then we go all in on this, right? Like it's just this square, it's like this like rock type piece. I don't know. Do I like this? I don't know. And then the idea being that you go ahead and drag this up and then we say like, you know, and then we go for the dark mode. You know? What does that do? Like, does it help it to be more readable? Is it too challenging? Like, let's see. The original one was blah, 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 blah. And it's a medium that's way too hard to read. And what was the original? Do 1 damage. If crit, do +1 damage. Do 1 damage. If crit, do +1 damage, and creature is now bleeding. Like, does that do anything? Nah, I feel like this is a totally different style. The dark would have to have more dark in the card. Feels like it doesn't match, but it's fun to experiment with it. Okay. Well, we learned a lot. I think, yeah, I mean, like, I think overall, like, updating the UI for the cards is important. I don't think it's this yet. I don't think the dark background with the text on top is, like, helping it with anything. If anything, it just feels like a style mismatch, but, you know, maybe over time, you know, we work on this a bit more. I still think when you get rid of this and you get rid of this and you get rid of this, that's probably better. More modern. But interesting. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's figure out, let's play the rest of this round. And then we'll see what happens next. Okay, so where we left off, these were, Eris is shrouded, so she can't be targeted because she missed completely. Simeon took a shot, dropped it. Bucket is winding up, ready to do a double hit. And it's now these guys' turns. And because Eris is shrouded, we are not going to be able to have her take the hit, but that means Simeon is going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. It's that light text and thing on the right that doesn't match. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the light text. I think the cards in general, like I said, I think they have a great layout. They're very readable, but I think they're a little, like, soft for the kind of dark nature of the fantasy world. It's like a little too Pokemon. Not that it's bad, it's just too casual. It needs to be more, you know? Okay, so he takes 4 damage. We also have a new problem now. Because he took 4 damage, he is now the lowest health hero on the team, which means Eris doesn't even need to do Shroud anymore. She's never going to get hit because she only has 1 hit on her. So we end the turn with Eris not taking any damage, so she didn't get a peril tracker. I think I maybe should have waited to do that because of this issue with Simeon, because now Simeon's going to definitely get hit again. Unless I use an elixir, which I could do. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and take an elixir and use it on Simeon. Simeon now has 10 health, and so Eris has 9. So now we're back to Eris will get hit on the next turn. We use the coin, so we can't go bloody unless we get a crit. Yeah, so Bucket might as well start off. So Bucket's been winding up on the last turn. He's going to go ahead and do his flail twice on a single roll, which means you do 4 damage, no +1 because no one's bleeding. So I'm going to go ahead and hit. That does 4 damage to this one. This one's done because it started with 6. Nice job, Bucket. And now bars need to be more stylized to fit it. Yeah, I think I have to like really come up with some better UI, like just an overall style for everything. Because now the cards are just growing. You know, they're just more interesting, more exciting. All right, let's see. Piracy is good. Welcome. What's going on here is a game. This is a solo play dungeon crawler game with over 200 cards that I've been working on for over a year with my friend, artist, and co-designer James Kavanaugh. He did all the art you see here. You pick 3 out of 10 heroes. I'm currently doing just game dev streams where I'm literally making the game. So these 4 have not been balanced or figured out yet. These 3 have. And now we're working on these 3. The 3 that are here is Eris. She's a rogue. She can hide and cause bleeding. Simeon's kind of like a Han Solo gladiator where a lot of his stuff is built on boom or bust. And Bucket is a specialist, which means he kind of is broken and breaks the game. He can only attack every 2 turns, but he attacks twice when he does. So right now, this is the first time I'm testing these 3 characters in an actual playthrough. And the whole game is an entire campaign that is randomized and generated, where you start at the Soulbind Keeps. That's where we are right now. You draw events like these, which then create monsters. And once you complete 5 events, currently 5, you get to pick which direction you want to go, whether you're going to the Withering Ward or the Defiled Farms. So I'm just kind of this method I call in game design. I would say I coined it, but it's just, I named it, called the snowplow method, which is like, you don't do a bunch of little stuff in your games because it demotivates you over time. The way that I make the games is I just start from the very beginning. And I just as if you were shoveling snow. You got to shovel the snow on the steps, then you got to shovel the snow in front of your house, then you got to shovel the snow in the driveway. You can't like skip steps. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. Oh, thanks, Piracy. The full art cards look pretty good. Yeah, thank you. He's an exceptional artist. The cards are really beautiful. The characters are amazing. And as you can imagine, working on a game for over a year, a lot of the card art is being upgraded because when we started it was one way, and then as we're growing, we're kind of like always improving it and creating it. Each hero also has their own weapon starter kit and then a bunch of single-use items that they can use at different times. So we just killed this guy with Bucket. Simeon is gonna go. As I mentioned, Simeon's a gambling type, so he gets 2 rolls, and if either of them fail, he gets a miss. So let's try it. Let's see if he can hit the deranged guard. So we're gonna roll once. That's a 2. He gets 1 damage, and I'm gonna try for 2 damage on this one. So I'm gonna roll again, and we get 2 hits. So this guy now is at 4, and Eris is gonna try again. She really hasn't been able to do much of anything at this point. I think this weapon still, it's just not right. It's not right. It's so hard to cause bleeding on a crit. That's 1 in 6. Yeah, I don't know. She still just doesn't click for me. These 2 are a lot of fun. These 2 are great. Eris just still is like not hitting for me. All right, so she's going to go ahead and she just does 1 damage because it's not a crit. I mean, it just feels like we're not hitting the gas with her. Feels like it's just like we're still going like 5 miles an hour. You know, we're still backing out of the driveway with Eris. Whereas these 2 are like on the highway. They're just like cruising right now. Like, yeah, we're good. We know what we're doing. All right, well, she did 1 damage. Basically useless. And Simeon is at 10. Eris is at 9. And this guy is going to attack the lowest health hero for 2. And does 2 damage if he's 2 or less. So he's only going to do 2 damage to Eris, which we can handle. Is the intention that the player manually does these things like the counters as part of the experience? Or is that just for now? It's both, actually. It does both. It's a physical card game that I'm also building a digital game out of. So we kind of got stuck. The truth is we kind of got stuck over the summer with this game because there's 200 cards and James and I would meet up to play it. And like, it was just overwhelming, the thought of trying to like put marks on these cards, these physical cards with stickers, and then they don't shuffle right. And we were like, maybe we print a second run. So the idea was, I was like, you know what? I know Tabletop Simulator, you can kind of like make whatever you want. So I'm using Tabletop Simulator to balance, playtest, and design the game, since I can just like update art on Photoshop, drop it in, and make changes. And honestly, it's been awesome. If anything, Tabletop Simulator saved this game, because I don't think I could move as quickly or as fast. And I think I would probably just get stuck in a lot of places and frustrated and just shelve it, you know, which happened over the summer. So I play it every day for about an hour. We're almost past an hour. Yeah. And yeah, that's the whole story. So answer your question. Yes, it does both currently. I started playing Magic the Gathering a few weeks ago, and I'm similarly overwhelmed playing Commander. I just played Commander for the first time on Sunday. Yeah, a friend of mine brought it over. It's super overwhelming. It's cool. It's really cool. It clicked for me like immediately. I was like, yeah, I could see why this would be really fun. And the commanders are like really like useful. I would say, even though this may look like there's a ton of stuff going on, of course I'm going to try and make my best pitch to you, but that this plays more like a board game rather than a Magic the Gathering game where there's just constantly stuff going on. I will say the damage tokens, I've tried to eliminate damage tokens before so that it was like a lot easier, but it doesn't work. It hasn't been possible to eliminate damage tokens. It makes the game too simple. But that the game itself, this game, I think other people on the stream who've been watching me play it over and over again, maybe you guys can attest if you played Magic. What do you think? Is it more or less complex than Magic? Piracy said, I had an insane combo turn where I could summon 22 creatures from my deck. We just said GG and went to the next match. That's what we did. Yeah. He was playing this like green guy who would evoke a creature, and then that creature would die immediately, but then come back as a copy. And then whatever it created, it would create double. In like 3 turns, he was like, well, I think I have like, now I have 10 things on the board, and now I'm about to get like 15. And I was like, okay, well, I think you win. He was like, yeah. So that kind of stuff doesn't happen here. I would say, you know what's a really great comparison for this? I think Magic the Gathering is like similar to like Hearthstone and other card games. The point of me designing this game was to really focus on narrative and storytelling. And I would say that this game, the combat of it falls way more closer to Final Fantasy or turn-based combat, Pokemon, things like that, where it's like it's not about doing super crazy stuff. I really tried to constrain the heroes and overlap them with powers so that you're really focused on synergizing your team. Something that's been really important to me is that these heroes that you pick start off together as just heroes. And then over time, like for instance, just to give you an idea of like what happens, over time you can pull a campfire card. And when they get to a campfire card, each of the 3 characters has 3 stories that they can tell. And you shuffle all the stories together into these alliance cards. And when they get to the campfire, you choose, I forget if you choose 2 or 3, but you choose them. They tell a story. It's not on here right now. And then you choose which story becomes part of the team. So for instance, this one is a story about generosity, when one of the heroes was like, you know, it tells you about their lore. It's like a lore dump that has a meaning to it. But if you choose this one, then you get multi-heal. When one hero heals 2 or more, other party members heal 1 as well. So you kind of start to build this team synergy where they kind of like, and they help each other. And a lot of the combat that they do, you're trying to navigate it so that they're working off of each other. At least that's the idea. Whether I get there or you guys think I get there is up to you to decide. Thanks, Raymond. Yeah, like and subscribe, guys. I always forget to say this. We're an hour in. If you're watching this, if you're watching the live stream or you're watching the video later, please like and subscribe. Also in the description is the Discord channel. Let me grab a little inviter, and you guys can come over to the Discord server where, of course, there's more Deadly Decks discussions and other stuff. Lots of other stuff. It's a really fun place. I love my Discord. It's lasted many years, and the people on there are just, they're wonderful. Really love my crew. Let me drop that in. There's the Discord. Anyway, Pirate, whether you subscribe or come back, happy to have you here. Thank you for the questions. I love this game a lot. I've been making games for 15 years. I've made a lot of games that have done really well. Made a ton of stuff. I've never made a game that I really loved playing, and I think everyone on here knows how much I love playing this game every day. It's become like part of me. I really love it. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully one day you'll play it. Maybe you'll love it. That would be cool. All right, so let's get back to the nature at hand. What were we doing? She attacked and did 2 damage. This guy's still at 3, so 2 damage plus 2 damage when his creature is 2 or less. We don't have to worry about that. He's gonna do 2 damage to Eris. That is the lowest health hero on the team. Yeah, I gotta think about this, because if both heroes died and just Bucket was left, would they not attack Bucket and Bucket would just kill them? This could be a problem. Like, I do like it. As you guys know, I'm really excited about the idea that because Bucket is a machine and he doesn't have health, traditional health, he can't be targeted. How does that work? But it's pretty cool. I like it as a base idea that just pops out. It just may mean that they need the second attack pattern, like the lowest power. So if it can't hit someone, then he goes for the lowest power. Might need little things to work out there. Okay, so to wrap up our little battle here, I think I'm going to hop off after this battle. Let's see how it goes. Eris now has 5 damage. She's got 5 health left. That's not great if you're Eris. It's our turn again. She's going to use a health potion to heal up for 2. She's going to use an elixir. She's back to 3. We're going to get her to roll to try and cause bleeding. Ooh, this is where I get confused with him. Bucket does get to the dubs, right? Did I not turn? Oh, man, I got to put a tracker in here for this. Tracker. Bucket wind up. Tracker. I don't think he does wind up. I don't think he does. Yeah, because I think the way it went down was Bucket destroyed that creature, and then Eris went and tried to hit, and she did for 1, and then they hit back. I don't think he winds up again. But keep me honest, I think he winds up now. So he winds up. That means he'll do double hit. Yeah, it does. It does, yeah. Yeah, it does do scripts. I don't have them here, but it does do scripts. The friend of mine who was playing, he actually suggested having like a little token at the top of each player. I don't want to add another token. I really don't. But trying to figure out a way so that you can keep track of who went, because he had a little bit of trouble to remember, hey, did they go yet? And I was like, I think so. Let's try it and see. Just, you know, play testing on the fly. All right, so Bucket winds up. His turn is done. Eris is going to attack again. She hits for 1. He's now down to 4, which means he's going to do 4 damage unless Simeon stops. And that would hit Eris, which means 4 plus 3 would be 7, which would leave her with 3. She's going to Shroud, which means she disappears. Her turn's over. don't you just kill this creature easily at this point? What happens now? Yeah, if I hit. So this creature now has 4 damage out of 6, and it does +2 when its HP is 2 or less. So Eris, it also hits the lowest health hero for 2. +2 would be 4. That would be Eris. She's at 7, which is lower than anyone else on the team. But I used her cloak to go invisible, which means she can't be targeted. So that means next up is Simeon to be targeted, because I'm trying to distribute it if Simeon fails. But what Simeon does, he's a gambling gladiator. His thing is his shackle whips. You roll twice. You don't have to roll twice, but you roll the first one. Hopefully it's just a hit. If it's a miss, we're screwed. So, oh my God. Okay. So what happens on a miss is you get a miss token. This is very like Elden Ring. I've tried to build in this little Elden Ring parry system. So that's a miss for Simeon. I'm about to show you what happens for a miss. I think you'll like this, Piracy. This is one of my favorite things about the combat mechanics. When we came up with this, I was like, oh my God, like, thank you, brain. This is fun. All right, so he missed. He doesn't do any damage, and he takes a miss token. At this point, he can't do anything else. He's going to have to take the hit to the face because his turn is now over. That means that the deranged guard is going to hit Simeon for 4. I'm just going to go ahead and put 4. Then, because he's missing, he's vulnerable to an attack. This flips to a peril token. And if you get 3 of these, you draw a peril card, which is like a broken arm and stuff. We're not there yet. But he's got a peril token, and you take an extra damage. Jeez, 5, 6, 7. 6... No, don't do it. Don't do it. He's gonna have 6, 7. I had to do it. I had to risk losing subscribers to do it. I just had to do it. Yeah, so that's a problem. Does that miss token go away if it's not the immediate next turn? It does. Yes, it only lasts for a round. So, you know, if they hadn't hit him, this would have turned into nothing. It would have gone away. No problem. It's only if they hit. Isn't that fun? It's like almost like a real battle where it's like he rolled an epic fail and missed. Usually epic fail misses means it's like, you know, oh, you just take more damage or whatever, which we do here. But I just love this idea that you only get punished if you get hit, because otherwise you just miss and that's fine. So yeah, okay. Well, this guy's about to get wrecked. So yeah. Eris in the shadows being like, are you okay, Simeon? Simeon just like, hold on, I can't see you through all of my damage tokens. By the way, nice fashion accessory you got there. Okay, so we start the turn back. And let's just go with Bucket right off the bat. Bucket now does, okay, well, let's flip these over. It's now our turn. Bucket's just gonna clobber this guy. The way Bucket works is you wind him up on the last turn. We wound him up. He doesn't get to attack. Now on this turn, he gets to attack twice for 1 roll. So as long as I don't miss, he's done. Okay. Oh, no, that wasn't a roll. I hit the wrong button. Okay, he hit them. That means he does 2 + 2 damage. That's 4 damage. We don't even have to worry about it. This guy's done. And let's see if we got any loot. I think I have to fix the loot distribution right now because we're really not getting... Yeah, these guys having no loot. You got to be kidding me. That much work for no loot? No, I don't think so. Let me put that in my notes. Fix loot icons for cards. And then let's see, these guys go away and we get 2 coins for that. And then because we did under attack, we've killed the 2 creatures. After defeating them, draw 2 allies. So we saved the day. Reichert's Guard and Bone Collector, the only 2 NPCs we have in the game. The NPC shows up. Eris, oh my god, Eris hates Reichert's Guard. That's part of her lore. So here it says, Eris says, die filthy swine. you discard this card immediately and summon Reichert's shield. So we kill him and take his stuff. If Eris wasn't on the team, we could heal him and get Reichert's Pass, which actually defeats one of these guys. As a 1 card, you just burn the card and you just defeat, they go away. You don't get the loot or anything, but you don't have to fight them. They retreat. So that would have been cool, but instead we get Reichert's shield, which I don't think we have Reichert's shield in here. We drew it, but it's not done yet. And then we get the Bone Collector, which gives you Summon Torch of Vorm. So we can go in here and we could get Torch of Vorm, which is a great card. This Bone Collector, although it needs a little bit of work, we could give it to someone here. We could give it to Eris. It's a single-use card. It does 2 damage. If creature is blood, you do +1 damage and then discard. This is an old card. Oh yeah, that's right. Because it doesn't tell you to set things on fire. Yeah, I gotta fix this card. It's a lot of little things to fix, but those are great. So we got these 2 allies, and honestly, this was fun. If we hadn't done that, by the way, piracy, this is what I mean about the narrative aspect of it, is when I drew this card, if I just skipped it, I have to discard 2 allies from the deck, and I don't get to see who they are. So you wouldn't know which allies died while being attacked by other creatures, because you just kind of were like, hard pass. We're not going to help with that. And then that means you can't count the cards and you can't tell like which allies are still in the deck and which ones aren't. Wow, this was fun. Final thoughts. I really love Simeon. Simeon's very fun. Every time he comes up, I'm excited to like roll his weapon. I'm excited to use his coin. He's really great. He's a lot of fun. So Simeon, like, kind of like, don't change, Simeon. You're great. I do feel like with Bucket, it's a little frustrating to start a turn to like, what am I trying to say here? It feels like when he's winding up, I just only have 2 people on my team because he can't really do anything else. So it would be nice if there was something else he could do while he's winding up. Maybe winding up is a free action. So he could still attack and wind up. Like he could like do a dagger or something, or a punch. Maybe he can like punch while he's winding up. This is pretty funny, but he just kind of feels like, oh, we're winding up now. I mean, you're just kind of like, yeah, like he doesn't really do anything during his off turns. So I think I would put that down there. Bucket needs to do something while winding up. While winding up. Simeon, lots of fun. Especially his chain mechanics. Could use one more fun thing. I think he could use one more fun thing. Piracy said, I kind of like the idea of wind up isn't as much of a drawback, but if he gets hit, then it cancels. So in this battle, he was never at risk since the other guy targeted lowest HP. It's interesting you brought that up. That's the way it used to work. I did change it so that now his wind up doesn't affect him. It used to be that you had to turn Bucket, which would make him vulnerable to attacks. But when I was playing it and even on chat, we all kind of felt like it kind of sucks if you're winding up and you get hit, because then he can't attack at all. Yeah, because no one would actually wind up because there's no benefit to winding up. So if I make it an ability that's a choice, you could either hit or do a wind up. I don't think anyone would do wind up. So I want to force the player to do wind up, but I don't want them to lose the ability to do wind up. So I think it's actually giving him more stuff when he winds up, and he can't get knocked when he's winding up. It doesn't break. Eris, mind you, is a problem. In my opinion, I think Eris is the biggest issue here. Eris, what do we say about Eris? Assassin's Blade not effective. Like, just too little damage. Only 1 in 6 chance of bleed, which is like, we didn't even see bleed a single time during the entire playthrough. That's bad. So that has to come up. I do like her shroud, her shadow cloak. Surprisingly, I felt like the shadow cloak was actually really useful because she can avoid getting hit, which gives you... Shadow cloak was super fun, actually. That was probably my most unexpected. I really did not expect the shadow cloak to be fun, but it really was. Yeah, she just needs more stuff. And then the last things are, excuse me, both Eris and Simeon do not have character abilities yet. Simeon and Eris don't need character abilities. Can I spell abilities? I think I can. Yeah. All right. Well, this was a great playthrough. This is what a milestone. This is my 20th stream of building deadly decks here on YouTube, and which you guys know, streaming is like so hard to stay consistent, but we've been doing it thanks to you guys' help. You guys keep me energized, keep me motivated. You give me all these crazy, amazing ideas as well. Super fun. Yeah, let me hit the, let's do this proper, guys. Come on. Thanks again for all the hangouts, guys. Again, if you're watching the vid or you're here live, please subscribe and like. It helps to get more of the community growing. And you can always join the Discord. It's in the description. And really, thank you so much, guys. You guys make it so fun. I love playing this game, but I love even more playing it with you guys. It's so fun talking about stuff and just thinking about game design. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for hanging out. I'll be here tomorrow back again, hopefully around like 11 a.m., maybe a little bit later, but we'll see what happens. Curtis, wow. Ow.